Yo, Yo, everybody. 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 So I hope this isn't too laggy. So I hope this isn't too laggy or anything. I'm basically gonna do some quick analysis right now. I'm gonna go over what I'm planning on doing for next week. So let me just go ahead and pack some stuff up here, and then yeah, we'll go along with just talking about what I'm gonna be doing for the week. We want to be very careful about like this zone here. Want to make sure understand price could fall here. We um it's just really high. So we're gonna keep that zone, we're gonna keep this here. We're gonna even extend it out. We're gonna want to see what happens if anything does happen there. I'm just trying to check if everything's looking good on here. Um, looks like it's sort of laggy, but so what I'm looking for next week, it's kind of been mark this up as well. Big area of consolidation, kind of rejection of this area here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw this up as well. Looking for targeting some of these zones next week. See what we can do. I'm just gonna draw out a few zones here that I will want to look for next week. But something that actually happened that was really cool before the week's end. We saw somewhere there was a tap into a few zones. I think it might be here actually. See, at this point, we're just going to be looking for consolidation zones around here. So if this does tap here, we'll get an entry in. Pretty tight stop loss. If we enter, we want to, I don't want to lose more than, 30, 40 pips on this trade. But hopefully tap in, hold until higher highs, get a pretty good entry here. So that's as far as GBP is looking. I'm looking for these three zones. If it breaks through that first one, I'll wait. Second, we'll see what happens. And then if it comes down to the fair value gap, that's somewhere I want to be looking the entire time because I'm not really sure where, what. So we will be aware of that because even if it were to tap up, and come up and break these higher highs up here, could fall down and then fall into the zone. So that's what we got to be careful for. Another thing that I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing any NAS next week, but I sort of want to do like some analysis on it and see what I can find. See what's looking good on the charts. So I do see it did tap here already, so I don't even think this is really even something I need to look at anymore. We do see it kind of tapped into here, and then it came up. So that is something we can look at if it comes back and falls down. But I don't really think also areas of just simple liquidity. Huge wick here, so I do want to watch out for this as well. Make sure we understand like a bunch of this up here is some liquidity. There is a lot of point of volume up here. So just like draw this here, we can see um right here. Just like a nice area where, well, like I said, I don't want to do that because you can't see shit. What the fuck? Just a nice area here, you know, of liquidity there. So that is something to look at. You know, they're trying to fill our orders. The banks are trying to get in there. Um, so I don't really know if it's gonna stay on that kind of uptrend. We will see though. I could see this falling because obviously in the term we have been going up. If we look at like the day chart, but that's mostly following the trend. So I think after this rejection here, it's yeah, it's oh shit. I think after this rejection, I can't really see it going up any higher. Just like I said, lots of an area of liquidity up here. I think this is a good sell for next week. Shorting, you're aware of. Um, let's see. I'm not sure why there would be so we're gonna I guess find out now why our rejection would be here. You can't even see this line, so I need to fix this. See it, what the hell? I guess it's just because let's see if this makes it better. Yeah, okay. So like it rejected, it broke this point, so I don't really see why. I guess on the hour chart, but let's look on like the right here. Very, very nice to average down. It looks like if like I don't draw trend lines a lot and use them, but like just this kind of like consistent downtrend we're seeing here. Um, and even if we don't take into account that high from what like July, and we just take into account these three, right? And I'm drawing this here. Zoom in even a little bit so we can see and make sure we're on the right points. I mean, if this thing were to break up on the other, just can't know if it's gonna go and tap exactly on the trend line. That doesn't always can tell anybody that's serious. I guess just be careful, but next week does look decent shorting week, honestly. We might see some consolidation up here and then a fall. But I think overall, if you're entered in at this price of A4, you're gonna be able to cash out at a lower point, right? That's just my opinion. Um, we're just seeing, lower highs, lower lows. We're seeing just like there was just a hard nowhere even close to this point, right? We saw sort of like this. I guess I don't think this is even equal, but we can see here we have right where these tabs. I mean, it actually might have. Let's check right now. So I guess it did break it. But in a way, these banks want to enter here, and then it just crashed. Small bit of liquidity probably broke a decent amount of people's. This is a long long holding position from January of last year until, now. But still, I guess some liquidity around this area. Basic, and it just couldn't break it. It really couldn't do anything. I don't even know if a body finished over it. Let's check. It didn't. I mean, it just doesn't have energy, right? Like there's no it just didn't it couldn't finish. No body could finish there. It couldn't break that. So, and it just kept falling from here, right? So, um I really don't think this is going to go anywhere. I really is, it just doesn't have that power at all. Um yeah, if we look here, I mean there's no right, there's no there it just doesn't have it. Um so then we can see just hard rejection, right? I really think if anything, I mean, if it were to consolidate and keep going up, I think if there was a break on the upside, we could see another run. Honestly, I think it could keep pumping. But let's be honest, as far as like financial data, as far as the economy's going, it's just not a very strong market right now. Like breakout or anything like that. Like it just doesn't make sense, right? Um, so I'm gonna just like put short here. Let me just add like text so we know. Right, so we have the short bias next week. This is make this a little smaller. Right, so we scale it down 4 hours, not the 4 hour chart. Right, same bias, same bias. Not short next week. Right, I mean, if anything, I mean it could pop back up a little bit, but there's no zone, there's no area. I think this rejection alone up here for the but as of right now, I have short bias on the week. Um, I don't know if I said well my bias was on GBP, but let me write that down as well. Basically, um, on that candle, the fair up in a way. Then the hour chart. Right, we're looking for these three areas. Um, 15-minute even. Let's see what we can. Like 15-minute, we got this gap, huge gap here. Um, and then all of these zones here, obviously. If you could extend, it could be here, and then you see, okay, these. So let's look at this. Let's see if we can correct ourselves. Let's look at the 5-minute here. See, like on a 5-minute zone is what I'm trading, right? The 15-minute makes sense. Like, okay, rejected off the 15-minute, these two big red candles here. But usually when I'm drawing a zone, I wouldn't draw it like this. So I personally would want to stick to my rule, and I wouldn't have it this big because if it goes down here and rejects it, I'm happy. If it doesn't, I'm happy if it rejects that zone, cool. I'm not in a trade, it's fine. But if it does tap my zone, it goes up. I'm following my rule, my strategy, and that's good. Everyone has their own strategy, so we gotta look at that. So I think as far as GBP as well, we have like it is in my like I do think I'm still very bullish. Um, just just for potentially this week, right? Like the next whatever few days here. Um, I think next week is going to be bullish unless something changes. The fact that just this momentum, right? Lot of momentum here. I think we could see some pushes, but then again, we look in the day chart. We have a few zones here that we need to look out for. Where target prices? Where is this thing gonna go? Where could it go? And we look and we see, potentially here. You're trading. You have to look at every aspect right here, right? Like what zones could this tap into? The floor we see how are these significant, right? That's a pretty big candle here. I can draw this down, make that a little smaller. Pretty big candle here. It's just an odd candle to have right there, right? Very odd. I like that as a zone. And it is in that right now, right? So we'll have to wait and see if it does reject here and go up. There's two zones. So we'll see which one is more powerful. Obviously, higher time frames hold higher power. So here, and it could go down and break through this, wait for that, and then enter a fair value, then go up. I think that could actually happen. So we're going to be waiting next week, most likely, for that fair value gap. But I'll be waiting. I'll be paired. No need to jump on any. Look on the 4 hour. Now this one really doesn't look good. If anything, I'd candle is not like are, but we go back to the day and this is like tiny. This is nothing. What even is this here? Just some wicks, right? So I honestly, for now, I don't even think that's a good zone to have right there. But I think this one's fine. Yeah, 4 hour. It looks good. Right? As I was saying, this whole candle. Hour chart. In this kind of this rejection. If we look at the hour, like what happened during this time, right? It's kind of just this whole whack area here. And then but when I'm looking at the zone, it's not like this is like the hour zone. This is the 4 hour zone. And then for the hour zone, I can make a different zone, we're seeing this rejection. We're going, it's interesting, but we still are, bearish rejection here. So we could be heading down. And if it taps in here and goes up, we'll see. But like I said, we are aiming for this fair value gap here, especially on the 5 minute, which is usually what I'm looking at when I trade anyway. So this is exactly what we're looking for next week on here. Honestly, I'm not sure what bias I'll have yet. So I'm not really going to put a bias, but be looking, and based off of my zones, based off the I will make an entrance. I'm not holding it long term anyway on these. So yeah. So I guess on GBP, we'll just say mixed opinion, watch for zones. Probably be pretty fair. Mixed, watch for zones. All right. Being very careful, right? So we know. And then if we look, let's see. I'm gonna go on my broker right now and just see. Honestly, let's do gold as well. Right, so on gold, if we could find it on here. Black Bull, I just completely missed it. Gold has been interesting. So this is going to be the final one. I'm just really GBP. There's other pairs, obviously. And as far as Forex pairs, the NASDAQ has a CFD, and then gold. But I don't usually, trade gold a lot. But yeah. So gold is just been very, very bullish. It's been on the uptrend. Obviously, we broke, two crazy, right? We saw the highs of October just like push almost to $2,010, right? That's a shit ton. What were we at before this? We were at let's look back. Let me just head to a higher time frame here, 4 hour. Like Gold. The thing is, gold prices. Yeah, I mean, look at this. This is just crazy. Like a spike like this is nuts. Earlier in the week or a few weeks ago, right, we were pushing down, about to break below $1,800. Now we're $200 higher than we were, right? That is just mind-boggling, right? Difference in gold in under like 2 weeks is crazy. But as we can see here, we're kind of having a rejection of the wicks on the top and the higher time frames. We're having the um like this. We'll see, but I do think we're gonna see some shorting happening on gold. The thing is, you have to look at like news events, right? What is happening in Israel? What's happening in Ukraine? Just like in the whole world, because anything can happen, right? Random wars can break out, and then gold just decides to go up higher. So it's really like you got to be aware. You got to be looking at the news, and everything. I think it has insane power, even though we're in a squeeze situation here where we are squeezing hard, hard, hard. You see, like what's going on here? Kind of this. It's like almost. I'm just like I'm not really sure what to think of gold right now, um, because it's moving so weird. Gold. I probably won't be trading gold next week. Personally, I'll be looking and seeing if there's any good setups on the 5 minute. But overall, unless it breaks out on one side, I'm not really sure. I think it's gonna slowly start coming down here. Um, but with that being said, let's go to the smaller time frame drop trade gold to be looking, what to look out for. Let's just go to the 15-minute first, kind of see just very gradual increase right over the few days. And it doesn't look like it could keep going up, but be aware though, like I said, of these highs here and how it couldn't break here and it couldn't break here. Be aware of that. So we're gonna look at like this whole area here, this like insane zone right here that could, be a big zone tap into here. What are we looking for here? And by the way, I know the title says 200K or 100K account, like trading. Obviously, it's a Saturday, so we're not trading. But we are going to just do some analysis on Saturday, Sunday, probably Sunday for the most part, earlier in the day. Saturday's a good day, though, because the market doesn't open the day of. It's the one day where there's no activity, because Sunday, later in the day, there's activity. Friday, obviously, until later. Saturday, because you can do analysis. You don't have to worry like, oh, what's happening today? Just like a clear day, right? So, I, it's just squeezing right now, right? Like I was saying, I mean, just right here, it's kind of like in this um squeeze zest right here. Just kind of like what's gonna happen, right? We have to ask ourselves like, what is this gonna do here? It's just squeezing. So we're gonna have to wait and see, obviously, but if it breaks the downside, I think it could easily keep falling. So let's just be aware of that, right? Let's look out for this zone. Could it tap here? Where else could it, come into? What other area of just resistance here? Here to wick here. I almost think of this a wick, is pretty powerful for where this could go. So let's just draw this out as well. Be aware of this here. Other than that, though, on gold, I think, I think it could free fall. This zone here was just a zone I already tapped into once, but we could see another tap in here. So all three of these areas here, look out for when you're trading gold. Just be aware of them because they're high volume. Just make sure you're aware of these three zones. And yeah, If it's a pretty large zone here, obviously 89 to 84. It's a $5 zone. So see what we can find in the 5 minute. Same thing, right? Gold is squeezing pretty hard. Let me kind of just shape this out so it's accurate here. Not covering over. Right. So like just want to make sure this is accurate. Yeah, so right, we're just looking for, what it does next here. It's very just squeeze area. So we're gonna see if it breaks out. It could fall down and then tap back up and go. It could just go up. Just be aware, right? But let's dive deep into these zones, and then I'll probably wrap it up for this analysis. Same thing here. So right on the 5 minute, this large candle is pretty valid. Just a lot of, and it looks like, yeah, I mean, just lots of volume here. Zone, right? Big zone. Tap, tap, tap. Literally 4 taps on this, right? This tap here. But if this zone is drawn, if we go down to the fine, what you have to do, your zone is correct here. Basically, that's perfect. It did not tap there, but it keeps, slowly going up. But then we look at the top, because I'm only drawing, demand zones, because everything kind of does look like, what could it do next week? Could it go up? As far as supply, I see a large, just like interesting candle here where it already kind of taps. And then I guess fell. So as far as like, that's probably the reason it happened, but looking for what this could do here. Just like a ending candle, at the top of the zone, large wick at the top. So I'd be aware of just all of these areas here, when you're trading. Just go out here for anyone that wants to kind of look. So I'd say just like be aware of where this could break out, all 3 of these areas here, and then from there, live streaming. So we will see, but yeah, honestly, just be aware. Like I said, be alert and make sure you But I would say this week I am looking at more of a bearish look on gold. I can't really see like a 2000 plus spike again, like that high, especially right now. Unless tensions, get higher, but I just don't think it will. So this week, just my personal opinion on it. Obviously, if you have your own, you have whatever. I'd love to hear anybody's comments about what they think. But I think gold bearish outlook this week. Just have this here, just so we know. Be aware of all the world. But other than that, for the 3 pairs today. So I hope you guys gain some, from this. But yeah, I'm gonna be done with this analysis for today. Hope you guys have a great week trading next week, and yeah, I will see all of you guys on Monday, hopefully, live trading. So catch you then. Peace.